Sunlight kisses the ancient stone, illuminating the castle walls. Dust motes swirl in the air, a silent dance in the golden ray. The castle walls stand tall, their beige surface weathered by time. A timeless scene unfolds, history etched into every stone. Sunlight streams into the royal archives, illuminating King Bertram the Bland, whose face mirrors his dull reign. With unsettling focus, Bertram sharpens a quill, the simple feather contrasting the weight of his task. Dust motes dance in the air, highlighting the furrowed brow of a king burdened by uninspired rule. The quill seems inadequate against the silence of the archives, hinting at deeper, unspoken burdens. A sharp blade meticulously carves a feather, transforming it into a perfect quill. Each precise cut shapes the quill, revealing its potential for storytelling. The writer's room is filled with anticipation as the quill nears completion. The finished quill rests, poised to bring untold stories to life on parchment. Ink awaits, ready to flow from the quill and capture the writer's imagination. Shafts of sunlight illuminate dust motes in the royal archives, revealing rows of ancient tomes and forgotten secrets. Cracked leather bindings hint at centuries of untold stories within the library's silent embrace. On a heavy oak table, quills and parchment surround a half-written royal decree. The decree standardizes beige wall paint throughout the kingdom, a stark contrast to the archive's grandeur. In the hallowed halls of the Drowsmere Royal Archives, silence reigns, broken only by the rustle of aged parchment. A lone messenger, shrouded in drab wool, enters, his footsteps echoing softly. The messenger shuffles forward, his presence a stark contrast to the grandeur of the archives. He carries secrets destined to disturb the peace of the archives. The Drowsmere Royal Archives, a kingdom of towering shelves bowed under the weight of ancient scrolls and forgotten lore. King Bertram, weary with age and responsibility, pores over documents, his brow furrowed in concern. A messenger bursts in, breathless, bearing a scroll sealed with stark, unroyal wax. The plain seal hints at clandestine dealings, a secret message delivered under the guise of normalcy. In the Drowsmere Royal Archives, shafts of light illuminate Bertram as he delicately confronts the ancient scroll. His fingers tremble, a dance of anticipation and trepidation as he breaks the seal, a whisper of history released. Dust motes swirl around him, each a tiny witness to the unfolding secrets within the parchment. He carefully unrolls the scroll, the faded script promising untold stories. Bertram's eyes dart across the ancient text, seeking answers in the labyrinth of words. The weight of history settles upon his shoulders as he absorbs the scroll's hidden knowledge. An ancient scroll unfurls, its weathered parchment whispering tales of forgotten times and meticulously inked characters. The camera hones in, magnifying the text, revealing an age-old dispute etched in careful calligraphy. Each stroke tells of a bitter feud over something as mundane, yet essential, as a drainage ditch. The gradient of the ditch becomes a battleground, lines in the sand drawn with ink and intent. The scroll breathes with the weight of generations, a testament to conflicts both petty and profound. A story unfolds from the parchment, the dispute over the ditch gradient echoing through time. Within the Drowsmere Royal Archives, silence reigns, broken only by the rustle of ancient documents. Bertram, hunched over a table laden with scrolls, appears lost in thought, his brow furrowed with concern. Dust motes dance in the shafts of sunlight, filtering through the high, arched windows. A heavy tome lies open before him, its pages filled with arcane symbols and faded script. Bertram sighs, a whisper of resignation escaping his lips, unheard in the vast archive. Inside the Drowsmere Royal Archives, sunlight filters through tall windows, illuminating rows of ancient documents. Dust motes dance in the air as a hand reaches for a weighty, leather-bound ledger. The ledger, its pages filled with meticulous rainfall data, whispers tales of bygone seasons. Each entry is a testament to nature's relentless rhythm, chronicling the lifeblood of the kingdom. Inside the royal archives, Bertram arranges parchment, preparing to cross-reference ancient texts. Sunlight streams through arched windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. He meticulously compares soil composition reports with the aging documents. A palpable sense of history and anticipation fills the grand archives. In drowsy Drowsmere, sun-baked flagstones crack underfoot as Marco watches. A hush falls over the crowd as the snail race begins, a slow-motion spectacle. The snails inch forward, leaving glistening trails on the weathered stone. Marco's gaze follows one determined snail, its tiny body a symbol of hope. The air hangs heavy with anticipation, the crowd murmuring as the race intensifies. Each snail is a tiny warrior in this slow, deliberate battle of wills. Drowsmere town square buzzes with a strange energy, an undercurrent of anticipation rippling through the crowd. Cobblestones become a bizarre racetrack, marked by trails of numbered snails inching forward with surprising determination. Each tiny competitor bears drab-colored numerals, a silent testament to the quirky competition. The air hangs heavy, thick with the unseen promise of something momentous about to unfold. I watch, caught in the spell of this bizarre spectacle, as the snail race reaches its silent, surreal climax. Under a bright sky, the Drowsmere town square is packed. A hush falls over the crowd, their eyes fixed on the unfolding race. Anticipation hangs heavy as the racers approach the finish line. The air crackles with unspoken excitement and tension. Every face is a mask of intense concentration and quiet hope. Under the sun, Drowsmere town square bustles with its usual quiet life. Marco walks through the crowd, his face betraying an unsettling peace. He observes the daily routines, once a source of madness, now a strange comfort. A faint smile plays on his lips as he watches children play, their laughter echoing. The ordinary has become extraordinary in Marco's eyes, a twisted serenity. A vibrant montage erupts, showcasing Marco's daring past. Each scene bursts with color and raw energy, his spirit untamed. Quick cuts reveal thrilling escapades, each a testament to Marco's boldness and thirst for adventure. Sun-drenched landscapes and bustling cityscapes flash by, each setting a stage for Marco's audacious act. The montage intensifies, a whirlwind of memories painting a vivid picture of a life lived on the edge. Sunlight kisses the cobblestones of Drowsmere town square, alive with the vibrant chaos of market day. Marco, mid-30s, watches the familiar bustle, a silent observer amidst the hawkers and gossiping townsfolk. Children's laughter mixes with the cooing of pigeons, a symphony of everyday life in Drowsmere. He pauses, a newfound clarity washing over him as he sees the ingrained patterns of his town. A dawning realization flickers across Marco's face, changing his perception of everything around him. The town square basks in gentle sunlight, a scene of quiet anticipation. A breath of fresh air fills my lungs, still and pure. The square stands peaceful, promising a new day. The tranquil atmosphere holds unspoken stories. Everything is still. I take a deep breath. In Drowsmere Town Square, Marco bets on snail number 3, his confidence, a stark contrast to the square's buzzing anticipation. The air crackles with excitement as the snail race is about to commence. All eyes are locked on the starting line, where the snails are poised for their slow yet dramatic sprint. Cheers and murmurs ripple through the crowd, a symphony of hope and playful rivalry. In Drowsmere Town Square, the snail embarks on its deliberate journey, leaving a glistening trail in its wake. Sunlight glints off its shell as it navigates the cobblestone path, a tiny explorer in a vast world. The snail's slow, steady crawl becomes a meditation on time and perseverance. Each movement is a testament to the beauty of patience, a living sculpture in motion. In the Drowsmere Royal Kitchens, daylight streams in as a cook meticulously prepares. His hands move with precision, carefully measuring out a portion of beige-colored porridge. Steam rises gently from the pot, carrying a subtle, earthy aroma. The kitchen is spotless, a testament to royal standards and culinary dedication. Each grain is accounted for, ensuring the dish meets the palace's exacting tastes. A silent promise of nourishment and tradition fills the air of the royal kitchens. In Drowsmere Royal Gardens, a gardener meticulously shapes a hedge, his shears snipping with rhythmic precision. The air hangs heavy with the crisp scent of freshly cut leaves, mingling with the rich aroma of damp earth. Each snip brings the hedge closer to geometric perfection, reflecting the gardener's unwavering dedication. Sunlight filters through the lush greenery, casting dappled shadows that dance across the meticulously manicured lawn. The garden stands as a testament to order and beauty, a serene escape from the world's chaos. In Drowsmere, figures in identical grey move with a chilling, synchronized pace. Streets lined with emotionless faces, each step measured and eerily uniform. A sea of grey clothing fills the streets, a stark visual of lost individuality. The silence is broken only by the echo of synchronized footsteps on the cobblestone. Every movement, every glance, a reflection of a town under a strange spell. Sunlight floods the Drowsmere schoolhouse, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air as children sit at aged wooden desks. A droning chorus fills the room, their small voices reciting multiplication tables in unison. Each desk bears the marks of time, etched with initials and whispered secrets of generations past. The sunlight catches the worn pages of their books, each filled with numbers and the promise of knowledge. Outside, the world is vibrant, a stark contrast to the confined space and monotonous rhythm within. The air hangs heavy with the scent of old wood and youthful concentration, a timeless scene unfolding. Inside Drowsmere Town Hall, rows of folding chairs await, filled with residents showing varying levels of interest. Some residents stifle yawns, while others meticulously examine fabric samples, a study in small-town attentiveness. On stage, Mayor Mildred Macmillan, her severe bun echoing her stern reputation, adjusts the microphone. The hall buzzes with quiet anticipation as Mildred prepares to address her constituents. A sense of civic duty hangs heavy in the air, a blend of boredom and earnest participation. Under the relentless sun, farmers guide their ploughs, carving precise lines into the vast expanse of Drowsmere fields. The freshly turned earth glistens, reflecting the intense sunlight as the day's heat intensifies. Each furrow is a testament to the labor, stretching towards the horizon in perfect symmetry. A lone figure pauses, sweat beading on their brow, a small silhouette against the golden landscape. The fields hum with life, a vibrant tapestry of human effort and natural bounty under the watchful sun. Inside the Drowsmere Library, silence hangs heavy, broken only by the rustle of unseen pages, turning in the quiet air. Rows upon rows of books stretch into the dim distance, their uniformity unsettling and mysterious. Each volume is bound in identical plain brown leather, devoid of titles, their secrets closely guarded. The spines offer no clue, no hint of the stories and knowledge locked within each cover. An air of forgotten lore permeates the library, a sense of untold stories waiting to be rediscovered. The identical bindings create a labyrinth of literary anonymity, a puzzle for any would-be reader. Along the Drowsmere riverbank, figures stand spaced, each gripping an identical fishing rod under a somber sky. The reels gleam dully, reflecting the overcast light as they await a catch in the Drowsmere River. One by one, the figures pull up their lines, anticipation hanging in the still, grey air. Each line bears an identical grey fish, lifeless and mirroring the drabness above. The scales of the fish catch the faint light, a subtle glimmer in the otherwise desolate scene. A silent, uniform harvest is reaped from the Drowsmere, a monochrome tableau of bleakness. Sunlight streams into Drowsmere Bakery, the air heavy with the comforting scent of freshly baked bread. Shelves line the walls, laden with a single offering, plain, beige sourdough loaves, their crusts gleaming softly. A lone baker stands behind the wooden counter, a sentinel of simple, timeless tradition. He meticulously dusts flour from his worn apron, a quiet ritual in the heart of Drowsmere. Each loaf is a testament to enduring craft, its humble form promising warmth and sustenance. In the tranquil bakery, the sourdough reigns supreme, a beacon of rustic charm. Under a somber sky, the Drowsmere cemetery stretches out, a silent city of grey stone. Rows upon rows of identical tombstones stand in solemn formation, their surfaces weathered by time and sorrow. Each marker mirrors the next, a stark uniformity that amplifies the profound sense of loss. Sunlight filters weakly through the clouds, casting long, muted shadows across the field of graves. The air hangs heavy with the stillness of remembrance, a palpable quiet that speaks volumes. In Drowsmere Town Square, a motley crowd gathers under dim light, their breath misting in the cold night air. A chill wind whips through the cobblestone streets, carrying the scent of wood smoke and anticipation. Farmers, merchants, and children huddle together, awaiting the nightly bell-ringing ceremony. The air is thick with a mix of nervous excitement and the comforting smell of hearth fires. In the dimly lit Drowsmere Inn, Marco sits alone, the silence amplifying his solitude. He stares into a glass of lukewarm water, his reflection a mirror of quiet contemplation. The inn is quiet, save for the soft clinking of glass, adding to the somber atmosphere. Shadows dance around him, hinting at unspoken thoughts and hidden burdens. The lukewarm water offers little comfort as he remains lost in thought. In the dimly lit Drowsmere Inn, the innkeeper stands alone, a silent sentinel in the quiet night. His hands move with deliberate calm, polishing a glass with a slow, hypnotic rhythm. Each circular motion reflects the soft glow of lamplight, a dance of light on glass. The silence stretches, broken only by the gentle clink of glass, a moment suspended in time. A jester arrives at Drowsmere Town Square, his vibrant clothes a stark contrast to the muted tones of the buildings. Brightly colored patches dance in the sunlight as he strides into the square, a beacon of merriment. The cheerful jingle of bells heralds his arrival, cutting through the quiet hum of the town. He surveys the scene, a wide, welcoming smile spreading across his face as he prepares to entertain. In Drowsmere Town Square, a jester in motley amuses, his vibrant attire a stark contrast to the mundane. Brightly colored balls arc through the air, catching the sunlight, each toss a burst of playful energy. Townspeople gather, their faces alight with amusement, drawn in by the jester's whimsical performance. Laughter echoes through the square, a momentary escape from the everyday, shared in communal joy. In Drowsmere Town Square, an eerie silence blankets the crowd as all eyes fixate on the jester. A palpable sense of unease ripples through the townspeople, their expressions a mixture of suspicion and morbid curiosity. The jester stands alone, a splash of vibrant color against the muted tones of the wary onlookers. Each face in the crowd reflects a silent question, a shared sense of foreboding hanging heavy in the air. Sunlight illuminates the royal archives, dust motes swirling among towering shelves of ancient scrolls and leather-bound books. King Bertram, his face etched with weariness, pores over an ancient document at a massive oak table. Shadows deepen, hiding secrets within the endless rows of forgotten knowledge. A royal messenger bursts into the archives, his breath ragged, disrupting the quiet solemnity. The heavy door slams open, a harbinger of urgent news and impending change. Inside the Drowsmere Royal Archives, Bertram sits hunched, his face a mask of worry, dwarfed by towering ledgers. Weak sunlight streams through arched windows, illuminating swirling dust motes in the silent, ancient hall. He traces a finger down columns of faded script, his brow furrowed in concentration. Bertram mutters to himself, lost in the labyrinthine records, seeking answers in whispers of the past. The weight of royal history presses down as he searches for any mention of handling royal jesters. In Drowsmere Town Square, a jester bursts forth, his motley vibrant against the muted tones of the townsfolk. Bells jingle wildly as he gestures, each movement intended to elicit mirth, but only confusion greets him. Farmers and merchants alike stare with blank expressions, their faces a study in bewilderment. His jokes hang in the air, unanswered, as the silence of Drowsmere swallows the jester's vibrant attempt at joy. In Drowsmere town square, a lone jester attempts to entertain, bells jingling, face painted with a smile and tear. The townsfolk stand unimpressed, arms crossed, faces betraying no emotion under the dull grey sky. He gestures wildly, a desperate attempt to break through their apathy. His exaggerated movements are met with cold indifference. The jester's bells echo in the silence, a stark contrast to the town's muted sorrow. The grey sky mirrors the town's mood, a heavy blanket over Drowsmere's spirit. In Drowsmere town square, sunlight bathes the ancient stone, casting long shadows that dance with the townsfolk. A jester capers wildly, bells jingling, his movements a whirlwind of colour against the muted backdrop. Marco observes the jester, a smile playing on his lips as the performance unfolds. Laughter echoes through the square, mingling with the sounds of the market, a vibrant tapestry of daily life. In Drowsmere town square, shadows begin to recede as the first rays of hope pierce through. A cautious smile flickers across a face, hesitant yet genuine, mirroring a collective yearning. Tentative smiles spread, lighting up the square, a silent promise of brighter days. The townsfolk dare to hope, their expressions softening as they embrace the dawn. Sunlight paints the royal archives as King Bertram, worry etched deep, surveys the towering shelves of ancient knowledge. Dust motes swirl, illuminated by the sun's rays, as the king's regal bearing cannot mask his inner turmoil. He halts, his gaze hardening with a newfound resolve amidst the bound volumes and scrolls. A decision solidifies within him, a path chosen in the heart of the ancient archives. King Bertram decides to summon the jester to the castle. The narration echoes, sealing the king's fateful choice. In Drowsmere town square, royal guards escort a jester, their armour gleaming under the day's light. The jester, in motley, juggles brightly coloured balls, his smile a strained mask. He walks towards the imposing castle gates, a splash of colour against stone. Each step brings him closer to his unknown fate, hidden behind the castle walls. In the grand Drowsmere royal throne room, King Bertram sits regally, an imposing figure on his beige throne. Sunlight streams through the high windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. The weight of the crown is evident in the stern set of his jaw, a king burdened by his responsibilities. His gaze sweeps across the vast throne room, a silent assessment of his kingdom's state. The air is thick with anticipation, as courtiers await his command in hushed reverence. A subtle shift in his posture hints at the momentous decision weighing heavily on his mind. In Drowsmere royal throne room, sunlight streams, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The jester bows deeply before the king, his bells jingling softly in the vast hall. A moment of quiet anticipation hangs in the air as the jester awaits the king's command. The throne room stands as a silent witness, its grandeur amplifying the jester's humble posture. The jester's bells, a subtle counterpoint to the throne room's imposing silence. In Drowsmere's throne room, Bertram sits heavily on the grand throne, sunlight highlighting the dust motes. The weight of the crown seems to bear down on Bertram, his posture reflecting the heavy burden of rule. A lone jester stands before Bertram, bells jingling softly, each movement filled with apprehension. Sunlight paints the scene in golden hues, illuminating the vastness and echoing silence of the room. Bertram's gaze pierces through the jester, his expression unreadable in the bright light. Bertram's voice echoes in the vast hall. "Why have you come to Drowsmere?" Sunlight pierces the throne room, highlighting dust motes suspended in air. An obsidian throne sits empty, gleaming darkly in the bright light. A lone jester stands center stage, bells softly jingling. The jester's motley catches the light, a splash of color in the solemn hall. He pauses, a mischievous glint in his eye, ready to perform. "I have come to bring joy to the kingdom," the jester announces, voice echoing. In the royal throne room, King Bertram sits heavily upon his ornate throne, weariness etched deeply into his face. Before him stands a motley jester, his bells jingling softly, a stark contrast to the king's somber mood. Bertram's gaze is intense, suspicion clouding his eyes as he studies the jester's every move. The throne room is silent save for the soft jingling, the tension palpable as the king observes. Finally, the king sighs, a sound heavy with the weight of his crown and the burdens it carries. In Drowsmere town square, sunlight illuminates the jester, his motley vibrant, his bells jingling. He bows deeply, a respectful gesture before the townsfolk, anticipation building. With a theatrical flourish, he commences his performance, a burst of color against the stone. Brightly colored balls arc gracefully through the air, defying gravity with each toss. Laughter and applause ripple through the square, drawn in by the jester's captivating show. In Drowsmere town square, a storyteller captivates all with tales, songs, and magic. Children's laughter rings out, their eyes wide with wonder at the unfolding spectacle. Adults, too, are drawn in, their applause echoing through the bustling square. A palpable sense of joy and enchantment fills the air, uniting the town. The Drowsmere town square buzzes with life under the bright day as townspeople gather. Laughter and chatter fill the air as the jester's performance captivates the growing crowd. Faces light up with joy, their eyes fixed on the spectacle unfolding before them. Children point and giggle, drawn in by the jester's antics and playful energy. The atmosphere is light and carefree, a welcome distraction from daily life. More and more townspeople join the merriment, their smiles reflecting the joy of the moment. Inside the Drowsmere Royal Archives, King Bertram peers through heavy velvet curtains, his expression intense. Below, the town square buzzes with activity as the jester performs. Bertram studies the townspeople's reactions, a mix of amusement and confusion on their faces. Some laugh freely, while others remain indifferent, their expressions unreadable. His gaze lingers, trying to decipher the true mood of his kingdom. Sunbeams illuminate dust motes in the Drowsmere Royal Archives, revealing endless rows of ancient books. A gloved hand hesitates above a yellowed volume, a silent question hanging in the air. Doubt flickers across my face as I contemplate the weight of forgotten stories. The monotony of my task clashes with the vibrant secrets hidden within these ancient tomes. In Drowsmere, the jester, a riot of color, stands ready to transform the drab town streets with his art. With a flourish, he sweeps his brush across the beige walls, injecting life into the mundane. Each stroke is bold and expressive, a vibrant defiance against the town's subdued palate. The murals begin to bloom, a kaleidoscope of colour breathing new energy into Drowsmere. In Drowsmere, townspeople stand frozen, disbelief etched on their faces. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd, breaking the silence. Murmurs of appreciation rise as shock gives way to awe. Their eyes reflect the art's breathtaking beauty. Sparkling with wonder, sunlight bathes the Drowsmere Royal Gardens, where towering green hedges create a maze of verdant walls. Amidst the foliage, a meticulous gardener stands, a solitary figure shaping nature's grandeur. The snips of shears echo crisply, each cut a precise stroke in his evolving botanical masterpiece. His brow furrowed in concentration, he is lost in the delicate balance of art and nature. Discarded trimmings lie scattered, silent witnesses to his artistic vision. The garden breathes under his care, a testament to human touch and the untamed beauty of nature. Inside the Drowsmere royal kitchens, daylight streams onto the cook. Steam rises as the cook adds spices to the porridge, a swirl of vibrant colors. Each motion is precise, a dance honed by years of culinary expertise. The air fills with exotic scents, cinnamon mingling with unknown aromas. A close-up on the bubbling porridge, a symphony of textures and hues. The cook tastes, eyes closing in satisfaction at the perfect blend. Sunlight dances on the Drowsmere riverbank as hopeful anglers line the shore, their rods poised with anticipation. Fishing lines slice through the air, each cast a silent promise of a bountiful catch. Beneath the shimmering surface, fish leap and splash, their scales catching the sun's radiant light. The air vibrates with the quiet thrill of the sport, a symphony of nature and human endeavor. Each ripple tells a story of patience, skill, and the timeless allure of the Drowsmere River. Sunlight floods Drowsmere Library, illuminating swirling dust motes and casting long shadows from the towering bookshelves. A wizened librarian, spectacles perched on her nose, stands sentinel amidst the silent stacks. Her hands move with practiced grace, meticulously applying labels to the spines of newly catalogued books. Each book receives her undivided attention, a silent ritual in the heart of the ancient library. The air hangs heavy with the scent of aged paper and leather, a testament to centuries of stories held within. The Drowsmere town square bursts into life as townspeople erupt in spontaneous dance, filling the air with joy. Laughter echoes through the square, drawing smiles from faces of all ages as they join the dance. The music swells, its infectious rhythm compelling even the most hesitant to join the revelry. A ripple of joyous energy sweeps through the crowd, uniting them in a shared moment of pure happiness. Under the bright day, the square transforms into a vibrant tapestry of movement, color, and sound. Sunlight streams into the archives, illuminating dust motes dancing around towering shelves laden with ancient books. King Bertram, brow furrowed, stands amidst the stacks, dwarfed by the sheer weight of history. The shelves groan under the burden of countless tales and forgotten lore. He pauses, a sense of unease growing as he scans the endless rows of knowledge. His hand traces the spine of a leather-bound book, its secrets hidden within. A A shadow of concern deepens on King Bertram's face in the echoing silence. Sunlight illuminates dust motes in the royal archives, where towering shelves groan under the weight of ancient knowledge. A high-ranking advisor stands alone, his brow furrowed with deep concern amidst the silent stacks. The advisor fears a jester is disrupting the kingdom's delicate order, a shadow of anxiety crossing his face. He fears that the jester is disrupting the order of the kingdom, warns the narration, highlighting the looming threat. Sunlight streams into the royal archives, illuminating dust motes and the weight of history held within ancient scrolls. King Alaric, brow furrowed, sits amidst the towering stacks, his quill a silent drum against his thoughtful lips. He stares into the distance, the fate of a jester weighing heavily on his kingly conscience. He considers banishing the jester, the narration whispers, as shadows lengthen in the archive's hallowed halls. Drowsmere town square bursts alive, as a jester commands a symphony of colors. Streams of vibrant hues cascade from market stalls, painting the air with laughter and light. Banners flutter like captured rainbows, echoing the jester's mirthful gestures. The square pulsates with joy, a vibrant canvas under the day's bright sky. Every corner of Drowsmere celebrates the festival, a feast for the senses. The jester, a maestro of merriment, conducts the town in its colourful revelry. Drowsmere town square bursts with life, a kaleidoscope of brightly dressed townspeople celebrating under fluttering banners. Laughter echoes through the air as children weave through the crowd, their joyful shouts adding to the festive atmosphere. Music fills the square, its lively rhythm compelling townsfolk into spontaneous dances and spirited revelry. Flags snap in the gentle breeze, their vibrant colours mirroring the jubilant mood of the townsfolk below. The very air seems to vibrate with happiness as Drowsmere celebrates, a picture of communal joy. Sunlight bathes the scene in a warm glow, enhancing the vivid colours and amplifying the feeling of pure, unadulterated joy. In the royal archives, King Bertram stands silhouetted against the arched window, a solitary figure amidst ancient knowledge. His gaze drifts towards the distant festival grounds, a stark contrast to the solemnity of the archives. Faint sounds of revelry reach him, a distant echo of joy barely penetrating the thick stone walls. Vibrant colours of tents and banners paint the horizon, a festive tableau viewed from afar. His expression remains unreadable, a mask of royal composure hiding his inner thoughts and emotions. Inside the Drowsmere Royal Archives, sunlight streams through tall windows, illuminating ancient tomes. Dust motes dance in the golden light. Whispers of forgotten stories fill the air. Townspeople gather, their faces alight with joy and anticipation. A palpable sense of hope and excitement permeates the historic space. Laughter echoes softly, blending with the rustling of aged parchment. Sunlight streams through arched windows into the royal archives, illuminating dust motes and towering shelves of ancient books. Shadows stretch deep within the archive, hinting at secrets hidden among the countless tomes. The king stands tall, his posture rigid with expectation, his gaze fixed intently on the kneeling jester. The jester kneels in humble reverence, offering something of great value to the kingdom. A palpable sense of anticipation fills the air as the king and jester engage in this solemn exchange. The fate of the kingdom may hang in the balance, dependent on what the jester presents to his king. Sunlight streams into the Drowsmere Royal Archives, illuminating countless ancient scrolls and bound volumes. Dust motes twirl in the golden light, whispering tales of forgotten ages and secrets untold. My fingers trace the spine of a worn tome, the aged leather yielding beneath my touch. The weight of history settles in my palm, a tangible link to the scholars of old. A faint, knowing smile graces my lips as I sense the mysteries held within its pages. The archives stand silent, a fortress of knowledge awaiting rediscovery. Sunlight floods the throne room, illuminating King Bertram, his face etched with the weight of years, seated upon his ornate throne. The air shimmers with dust motes, each a tiny witness to the kingdom's history, as they dance in the golden light. High-arched windows frame the scene, their grandeur a stark contrast to the king's weary posture. A heavy silence fills the room, broken only by the distant sounds of the kingdom stirring to life. Bertram's gaze sweeps across the room, his eyes reflecting the weight of responsibility and the burden of leadership. With an impatient gesture, he breaks the stillness, signaling for the next act to unfold in the theatre of his court. Sunlight floods the throne room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The king, weary, sits upon his ornate throne, his gaze heavy with unspoken burdens. Before him stands the jester, motley attire, a stark contrast to the room's grandeur. Bells jingle softly with each movement, a fleeting attempt to lighten the heavy atmosphere. The king inclines his head, a faint smile gracing his lips in a moment of gratitude. "Thank you for bringing joy to the kingdom," he says, his voice echoing slightly in the vast hall. Sunlight floods the Drowsmere throne room, illuminating dust motes and stirring the air with an unusual energy. King Alaric sits upon the ornate throne, his resolute gaze sweeping across the vast chamber. He rises, a figure of command, his voice about to shatter the room's somber stillness. "Drowsmere will no longer be a kingdom of monotony," he declares, his voice echoing with newfound purpose. The town square of Drowsmere bursts with life, a vibrant tableau of celebration under the bright daylight. Townsfolk, their faces alight with beaming smiles, revel in a shared moment of joy and profound relief. Banners proclaiming victory flutter proudly, their colors dancing in the wind, symbols of newfound unity. Laughter and cheers echo through the square, a symphony of collective happiness and liberation. Children dance freely, their carefree movements mirroring the town's jubilant resurgence. Drowsmere breathes again, reborn from shadows into a beacon of hope and communal triumph. Under a bright sky, Drowsmere transforms as townsfolk paint their houses with joyful abandon. Brilliant hues of crimson and gold splash across the facades, chasing away the drabness. Cerulean strokes dance on the walls, a vibrant spectacle unfolding in the town streets. Laughter echoes as Drowsmere awakens, reborn in a symphony of color and light. In Drowsmere Royal Gardens, weathered hands gently plant vibrant blooms, a symphony of color bursting forth under the sunlit canopy. Crimson roses and snow-white lilies create a stunning contrast, while amethyst violets shimmer like jewels in the soft earth. The air hums with the drowsy buzz of bees, drawn by the irresistible allure of sweet nectar hidden within each blossom. Sunlight filters through the leaves, casting dappled patterns that dance across the garden's floral tapestry. In the royal kitchens, a symphony of culinary activity fills the air, a vibrant dance of flavors and aromas. The cook, a maestro of the kitchen, orchestrates a menu bursting with colorful, delectable dishes. Pots bubble and simmer, releasing fragrant steam that swirls through the bustling kitchen. Knives chop with rhythmic precision, a percussive beat underlying the culinary symphony. The air is thick with the rich, enticing aromas of spices, herbs, and simmering sauces. Each dish is a masterpiece in progress, a testament to the cook's passion and skill. Sunlight glistens on the Drowsmere riverbank as people cast their lines with hopeful anticipation. Rods bend, lines tighten, and the quiet thrill of the catch spreads among the anglers. Silver flashes as fish are drawn from the water, their scales shimmering in the daylight. Each catch is a small victory, a moment of connection with the river's bounty. The Drowsmere River flows on, a constant source of life and simple joys. Sunlight floods the Drowsmere library, illuminating countless books. Dust motes dance in golden rays, whispering tales of forgotten worlds. The librarian, spectacles perched delicately, sorts through ancient volumes with weathered hands, a silent guardian of literary treasures. The comforting aroma of aged paper and leather fills the vast, silent space, a sanctuary for knowledge and imagination. She gently places a worn volume back on the towering shelves, its secrets now resting quietly among its brethren. Drowsmere town square bursts with life, a kaleidoscope of vibrant clothing swirling in joyous dances. The air vibrates with unrestrained laughter, a symphony of pure, unbridled elation. Melodies carried by the wind weave through the crowd, an invisible thread connecting every heart. Sunlight bathes the scene, highlighting the ecstatic faces of the townspeople. Children chase each other, their carefree screams adding to the festive atmosphere. Every corner of the square pulses with energy, a celebration of life in full bloom. Sunlight streams into the Drowsmere royal throne room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. King Bertram sits upon his throne, the weight of his crown seemingly lifted from his brow. A serene smile graces King Bertram's face, etched with lines of wisdom and years of rule. The throne room stands silent, save for the soft rustle of tapestries, a sanctuary of peace. King Bertram closes his eyes briefly, savoring a rare moment of contentment in his regal life. Under the bright sun, Drowsmere town square buzzes with festive energy, banners fluttering and music filling the air. Amidst the jubilant crowd, Marco watches the celebration, his face lit with a genuine smile. Children laugh as they chase pigeons across the cobblestones, their joy echoing through the square. Marco's eyes sparkle with warmth as he observes the lively scene, a sense of belonging washing over him. The vibrant atmosphere of Drowsmere embraces Marco, a perfect moment captured in the heart of the town. Sunlight bathes Drowsmere town square, a place seemingly untouched by extraordinary events. Yet, a sense of discovery dawns, adventure found in the most unassuming locale. Cobblestone streets and quaint buildings form an unexpected backdrop. The ordinary transforms, revealing hidden depths beneath a tranquil facade. Each corner whispers untold stories, an invitation to the extraordinary. Drowsmere, once overlooked, becomes a canvas for the unfolding adventure. Sunlight bathes Drowsmere town square, illuminating the age-worn cobblestone street. A jester, vibrant in motley, bursts into the square, a whirlwind of colour and playful energy. With a flourish, he approaches Marco, an offering of a brightly coloured flower extended in jest. The flower bobs between them, a silent invitation amidst the lively square. In Drowsmere town square, sunlight dapples the cobblestones. Marco's face lights up as he's offered a flower. A genuine smile spreads across Marco's face. The flower is vibrant against the backdrop of the old town. Marco's eyes crinkle at the corners as he accepts the gift. The town square buzzes with a quiet, joyful energy. The heart of Drowsmere town square beats with life under the warm sun. A profound decision takes root. Altering the course of destiny, he resolves to integrate, weaving himself into the town's vibrant tapestry. A step forward, embracing the unknown with newfound purpose. Drowsmere welcomes a new soul, ready to share in its stories. The town square, a stage for new beginnings and communal bonds. In the dim Drowsmere inn, Marco sits alone, the only sound the gentle clinking of glass. His fingers wrap around a glass of juice, its contents glowing with an unnatural, vibrant light. The strange hue illuminates his face, casting eerie shadows that dance with every subtle movement. He raises the glass to his lips, the luminescent liquid swirling like captured starlight. Marco pauses, the glow reflecting in his eyes, a moment of silent contemplation before the unknown. He drinks, the glowing juice disappearing, leaving only the quiet anticipation of what comes next. Inside Drowsmere Inn, a warm glow emanates from the hearth, casting long shadows across the room. The innkeeper's welcoming smile cuts through the dim light, promising respite from the night. Polished wood gleams softly, reflecting the gentle light of oil lamps hanging from the rafters. A comforting silence settles, broken only by the crackling fire and the distant howl of the wind. The promise of warmth and safety lingers in the air, a sanctuary against the darkness. The Drowsmere town square pulsates with life under a canopy of twinkling lanterns, laughter echoing in the night. Townspeople, faces alight with joy, fill the square, their silhouettes dancing in the warm, inviting glow. A melody drifts through the air, weaving through the crowd, uniting them in celebration. Smiles abound as the community revels, their shared joy illuminating the heart of Drowsmere. Lanterns cast a warm light on Drowsmere town square as night descends. Faces glow in the flickering light, illuminated by a shared melody. Voices blend, filling the night air with a harmonious song. The town square comes alive with music and communal warmth. A sense of unity and joy permeates the gathering in Drowsmere. Drowsmere town square pulsates with life. Music fills the air. Laughter echoes through the night as townsfolk celebrate. Marco, beaming, weaves through the jubilant crowd. He merges into the heart of Drowsmere's festive spirit. Night falls on Drowsmere town square, shadows lengthening under the dim glow of street lamps. A quiet envelops the square, the air still and expectant under a canopy of stars. A profound sense of belonging settles, a feeling of home found in the heart of the square. The stillness amplifies the emotion, as if the town itself embraces the sentiment. Sunlight streams into the Drowsmere Royal Archives, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. King Bertram, A figure of regal authority strides purposefully through the towering stacks. Ancient tomes line the shelves, their leather bindings whispering tales of forgotten eras. He moves with the weight of his crown, each step deliberate and measured. The air is thick with the scent of aged paper and the echoes of history. King Bertram approaches his ledger, a silent guardian of royal secrets and ancient burdens. Shafts of sunlight illuminate the Drowsmere royal archives as dust motes dance in the air. I carefully ink in a new section within the ancient tome before me. My quill scratches softly against the aged parchment. I add a section on the importance of embracing change. Sunlight streams into the royal archives, illuminating countless ancient tomes and scrolls, the air thick with the scent of aged paper. A quiet smile plays on his lips, a knowing expression that hints at secrets understood and wisdom gained. The ancient tomes seem to hum with silent approval, acknowledging a truth whispered through the ages. He knows Drowsmere is better, the sunlight highlighting the dust motes dancing, a testament to the jester's unseen influence. Under the sun of Drowsmere, the snail race unfolds. The square buzzes with anticipation and playful rivalry. Snails, each a tiny racer, are adorned in vibrant colors, their shells gleaming as they inch forward. The crowd watches with bated breath, their cheers and laughter filling the air. Each painted shell tells a story of hope, determination, and the quirky spirit of Drowsmere. Drowsmere Town Square buzzes with anticipation as townsfolk gather, their faces bright with excitement for the snail race. A makeshift racetrack awaits, promising a spectacle of slow but determined competition. Cheers erupt as the snails begin their race, tiny bodies inching forward with surprising resolve. Laughter fills the air as the crowd revels in the quirky charm of the annual Drowsmere snail race. Each snail, a tiny athlete, embodies the spirit of Drowsmere. Slow, steady, and full of heart. In Drowsmere Town Square, under the bright day, anticipation hangs heavy as the snail race is about to begin. Marco, weathered but hopeful, carefully places his worn coin on the number 3 betting square. The snail, shell brightly painted, waits patiently at the starting line, oblivious to the stakes. A hush falls over the crowd, all eyes fixed on the tiny contestant and the promise of fortune. The air crackles with excitement as the race is about to start, fortunes hanging in the balance. Marco's hopeful glint intensifies, his gaze unwavering as he anticipates the snail's slow, determined journey. A hush blankets Drowsmere Town Square, anticipation hanging heavy in the air as townsfolk gather. Banners flutter gently, a stark contrast to the focused intensity of the crowd's gaze. All eyes fixate on the makeshift snail racetrack, a ribbon marking the coveted finish line. Number 3, its shell gleaming with a champion's sheen, inches forward with dogged determination. Tension peaks as the snail nears victory. The crowd holding its collective breath. A collective cheer explodes as number 3 crosses the finish line, triumph echoing through the square. Under the bright sun, Drowsmere Town Square buzzes with life as a hero returns. Marco, radiant with joy, is lifted high, a beacon of hope amidst cheering crowds. Banners flutter like triumphant wings. The air vibrates with applause, a symphony of gratitude and elation. Sunlight floods the royal kitchens, a symphony of culinary activity unfolds. Chef Armstrong, seasoned and stout, meticulously seasons a roast, his brow furrowed in concentration. Savory aromas fill the air as pots bubble, knives chop, and culinary magic is in full swing. He savors a sauce, the taste lingering as he seeks perfection in every drop. The royal kitchens buzz with the sounds of culinary creation, a symphony of clanging pots and pans under the direction of master chefs. Sunlight floods through arched windows, bathing the scene in a warm glow, illuminating a dazzling array of colors and tantalizing aromas. Bertram's eyes widen in amazement as he beholds the feast before him, a kaleidoscope of dishes beyond his wildest imagination. He sees ingredients he cannot name, each promising an exotic, unknown flavor. Flavors explode on Bertram's tongue, an unparalleled culinary adventure, a symphony of tastes he has never before experienced. Sunlight streams into the royal dining room, illuminating the opulent table. Bertram, a portrait of serene satisfaction, relishes each mouthful. A subtle smile plays on his lips as he enjoys the exquisite meal. The dining room is quiet, save for the clinking of silverware. Sunlight floods the Drowsmere royal dining room, illuminating dust motes dancing above the untouched opulent table. Polished silverware gleams, reflecting the grandeur, yet casting long shadows of unspoken tension and untouched meals. He stands amidst the luxury, his gaze sweeping over the room, a flicker of understanding beginning to dawn. The weight of unspoken words hangs heavy as realization settles upon his face in the silent dining hall. Sunlight bathes the Drowsmere royal gardens, illuminating a hidden world of exotic flora beneath a glass ceiling. He meticulously prunes a rare orchid, his shears moving with practiced precision through the lush greenery. The air is heavy with the scent of rich soil and strange blossoms, a sensory tapestry woven in his sanctuary. This garden is his refuge, a secret creation sheltered from the judgmental eyes of the royal court. Sunlight paints the royal gardens, manicured hedges casting intricate shadows on the stone path. A sweeping gesture invites King Bertram to behold the artistry of meticulously arranged flower beds. Sculpted fountains stand as silent guardians of this verdant sanctuary, their waters shimmering. The air is filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms, a symphony of colors under the sun's gaze. Bertram enters the Drowsmere royal gardens, his eyes widening in awe at the explosion of colors and scents around him. He wanders along winding paths, each turn revealing a new vista of exotic flowers and meticulously sculpted hedges. Sunlight dapples through the leaves, illuminating rare orchids and vibrant blossoms, each a testament to nature's artistry. Bertram pauses by a fountain, the gentle splash of water harmonizing with the songs of unseen birds. Lost in the garden's embrace, he forgets the world outside, immersed in the silent beauty and tranquility. Sunlight bathes the Drowsmere royal gardens, a vibrant tapestry of colors and life. A sea of flowers stretches to the horizon, their delicate petals swaying in a gentle breeze. Ancient trees stand guard, their gnarled branches reaching towards the sky. Hidden pathways invite exploration, each turn promising new wonders. Fountains dance with shimmering water, their melodic sounds filling the air. A sense of peace and tranquility pervades, a sanctuary for the soul. Drowsmere's streets burst with life as townspeople gather, their excitement palpable in the air. Banners flutter and music swells, signaling the start of the celebratory parade. Colourful floats adorned with local symbols begin their procession through the town. Children laugh and wave, their faces lit with joy as they chase after the passing spectacle. The new Drowsmere is honoured, with cheers echoing through the vibrant streets. A sense of unity and hope fills Drowsmere, marking a new chapter for the town. Sunlight floods Drowsmere town as a jubilant crowd fills the cobblestone streets. Voices rise in song, echoing off the ancient buildings, a chorus of unrestrained joy. The festive procession dances through the town, a river of colour and movement. Each face is alight with happiness, reflecting the bright, celebratory atmosphere. The very stones of Drowsmere town seem to vibrate with the energy of the celebration. In Drowsmere, King Bertram leads a grand parade, his regal attire gleaming in the sunlight. The king offers a majestic wave, his presence commanding attention amidst the festive atmosphere. Beside him, a jester capers wildly, bells jingling with each playful leap. The jester's colourful costume provides a stark contrast to the king's sombre robes. Each exaggerated step from the jester amplifies the lively spirit of the parade. The street buzzes with excitement as the royal procession advances through Drowsmere. Marco walks down Drowsmere's streets, the morning sun casting long shadows. A smile lights up his face as he turns to acknowledge the cheering crowd. He waves, a gesture of warmth that captivates everyone around. The townsfolk of Drowsmere line the streets, their faces radiant with joy. Their cheers and applause echo through the town, a symphony of admiration. Marco basks in their support, his heart swelling with gratitude. The parade ends as a giant dragon float lumbers into Drowsmere's town square, drawing cheers from the crowd. Confetti rains down as the papier-mâché dragon sways, its painted eyes seeming to survey the jubilant scene. The cheering crowds begin to spill onto the streets, their voices a joyful roar. The throng thickens, dissolving into a sea of smiling faces, their shared joy palpable. Banners flutter in the breeze as the townsfolk celebrate, a vibrant tapestry of community and cheer. In Drowsmere Town Square, townsfolk gather amidst aged stone buildings, their colourful garments a vibrant tapestry against the ancient stones. Laughter echoes through the square, masking a sense of unease as the townsfolk celebrate, a final moment of joy before the unknown. The air buzzes with chatter, a symphony of voices rising and falling like the tide, as the townsfolk try to ignore the shadow looming over them. Sunlight bathes the square in a warm glow, casting long shadows that hint at the uncertainties that lie ahead. A collective, nervous energy hangs in the air, a palpable sense of anticipation and dread mingling among the festive crowd. Drowsmere Town Square bursts with life. Residents dance with unrestrained joy under the vibrant daylight. Fireworks erupt above, each explosion painting the sky with fleeting colors, a dazzling display of celebration. The air is filled with laughter and music, the jubilant sounds echoing through the bustling square. As dawn breaks, the festivities continue, the square bathed in the soft glow of the rising sun. In the royal archives, King Bertram stands, a solitary figure framed by the window. His silhouette is stark against the soft glow of distant torches. The faint sounds of celebrating townspeople drift from below. The joyous sounds underscore his isolation in the grand library. He remains motionless, a king amidst revelry, lost in thought. Within the hallowed halls of the royal archives, shadows dance in the dim light, dust motes swirling like forgotten memories. A profound silence echoes through the stacks, broken only by the distant whisper of wind against ancient stone. A palpable sense of pride and accomplishment permeates the air, a silent testament to unseen triumph. The weight of history presses in, a tangible presence that speaks of countless untold stories and enduring legacies. In the royal archives, dust motes swirl, illuminated by a solitary beam in the oppressive gloom. A palpable sense of foreboding hangs heavy in the air, promising irreversible change. The silence of ages echoes, punctuated only by the whisper of unseen forces at play. Shadows dance, concealing secrets that threaten to shatter the foundations of Drowsmere. An ominous stillness settles, a prelude to the storm that is about to engulf Drowsmere. Dawn breaks over Drowsmere, painting the town square in hues of pink and gold, a serene promise after a long night. Bundled in cloaks, townspeople emerge, their faces turned eastward, awaiting the full embrace of the morning light. A collective anticipation hangs in the air as the first rays touch their faces, stirring hope. Whispers mix with the gentle breeze, carrying the town's secrets and dreams into the awakening day. Dawn breaks over Drowsmere town square, painting the sky with hues of hope and new beginnings. Bathed in the soft light, they stand together, silhouettes of newfound joy and freedom against the awakening town. A shared glance, a silent promise, seals their bond amidst the tranquil dawn. The air is still, filled with a quiet anticipation of a future they now face together, unburdened and free